Alright guys, welcome to Rome Reviews. I'm Rome, and today we're doing a 2-month review of the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro, the global version. And this is going to be the full review of it. So we're going to jump right in. So we're just going to touch on specs just a little bit. Won't go crazy on it because I've done that before in the initial review and went spec crazy in that one, so we'll just move forward and just talk about the just a little bit. So the outer display is 6.53 inches and the inner display is going to be 8.03 inches, which is the largest regular foldable display. We won't get into the Huawei Mate XT or anything like that, that trifold, which is insane. But as far as foldables that I've come into contact with, this is the largest inner screen on a foldable at the moment that I've had. And just as far as hardware goes, the design itself, as you can see, I have a dark wallpaper on here, but the bezels are very thin and uniform around the edges. And you can see the hinge over to the left, while it takes up a little more space, it's not like ridiculous. So the design itself on the outside screen and just the outer folded phone itself is just impressive. It's a really good looking phone on the outside. Even on the back with the big the big circular camera module, I still feel like this is a solid device. What I'll mention briefly, and I'll probably get into accessories again towards the end of the video, but I bought a case for this phone just to put something on it to protect it from scratches. I don't care about drops because I don't really drop my phones at all. But as far as scratches goes, I just wanted to have a little protection on there. But the case itself ended up scratching the phone. I don't know. Let's see if we can get that on camera a little bit. See if we can make that out for you guys. You see that line right there? And here as well. That does not come off. And I don't know what happened with the case. It just wasn't gapless. It wasn't just tight onto the device. So when things were pressed against the case, it would scratch the phone itself up. But yeah, just wanted to make you aware of that. So like I said, I'll talk about accessories again towards the end. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the software and slash hardware, just a transition from hardware to software. The biggest thing would be the fingerprint readers. Snappy, so snappy. And that's the case on inner and outer display. I read my face, which is the other security measure that I was going to get into. I'm not even looking at the phone right now. Fingerprint reader, snappy. Alright guys, so I want to touch on the biometrics on this device again. So on the front, so you have a fingerprint reader on the front and inner displays, and then you have the facial recognition on the outer and inner displays. So the phone doesn't even have to be lit up. I just press my thumb right there where I assume the fingerprint reader is, and it unlocks. It's very snappy. Like, just so you guys can see the boom. Well, it recognized my face, even though I'm not looking at it right now. That's scary. Boom, pop right in. And that's going to be the case on the inner display as well. Let me look, kind of tilted away from me. Fingerprint reader, boom, right in. It's very snappy. It's very consistent as well. And as you can see, I had to point the camera away from me so it won't recognize my face. But pointer, it unlocks right away. It doesn't take me in to the device because I didn't enable that in the settings. But sometimes I just want my phone to unlock so I can see my notifications and read them real quick without actually going into the phone. And that works with the inner camera as well. Let me turn it off. Point it at me. Boom. Unlocked. Like immediately. So very consistent biometrics on this device. Very solid. Actually, not saying it's the best out there, but once again, it's the best that I've interacted with. I want to compare it to, as far as facial unlock goes, I would say it's second to the iPhone, but only because the iPhone has that what is it called, lidar in its camera that works in dark, like really dark environments, whereas this one doesn't work quite as well in dark environments. Which is, it's nice to have the fingerprint reader to fall back on. So what I want to do now is backtrack a little bit and talk about what the phone came with. And this is the global version, so I'm not sure what the local Chinese version came with, but it came with a 120-watt charger, USB-C to USB-C, and take that away from the camera so you can see it a little bit better. And it came with a back case, back cover for the phone. And this is the one that I've been using, because the one that I bought, it's been giving me a little trouble. Even though I like the red on it, it's been giving me trouble. So I had to take it off and start back using the one that came with the device. So I'm lacking a front cover on this device. But anyway, let's transition into, oh, let's talk about biometrics really quick again. This phone has a feature where if you don't use your PIN code within, I think it's 72 hours, it'll automatically prompt you for it the next time you go to unlock your device, just so you don't forget your PIN. Which I had that problem with my iPhone. I had to go through all this trouble. It's a work iPhone, but I had to go through all this trouble where I was using facial recognition for so long. I had forgotten how to unlock my phone. I forgot the PIN that I had assigned. And it's mostly due to the fact that we have to change the PIN every, 90 days. So I had forgot what I assigned to at that time, and I was locked out of my phone. But yeah, that is a nice touch to require you to enter your PIN once every 3 days, just so you don't forget it. That's a very nice touch. So, transitioning into cameras, I'm going to pop those specs up on the screen for you guys, just so you can get an idea of what they try. But you have the main, you have a telephoto, and you have an ultra wide. I have to figure out that particular order that they're laid out in, but I have that up on the screen for you guys, just so you can have some clarity. What I want to say is, in one of my previous reviews of the camera particularly, I did not give any attention to the selfie cameras on the inner or cover displays, just simply because I'm not a selfie guy. I don't take a lot of selfies and so on and so forth. So I just didn't pay it that care. But I had to take into consideration you guys. Some of you guys out there may take a lot of selfies, and you might want to know about that. So I went out and spent some time with the selfie camera. I took a few selfies, recorded a couple of videos. And what I'll do is I'll pop those up on the screen in just a moment. I just want to real quickly touch on, also while I was out there doing the selfie work, I did record and take pictures on the main sensor as well. And there was something odd that I noticed, but I'll cover that in the video itself. So we're cutting to the camera now. All right, y'all. So this is the selfie camera on the outer display. And this one does record it only goes up to 1080p 30 frames per second. And it goes down to 720p 30 frames per second. But yeah, this is the front camera, and I also just wanted to talk a little bit just to let you hear the mic on the phone. So yeah, here we are walking around, and we have the harsh sunlight on us. I don't think I'll be able to get any nighttime recordings on this phone before I'm able to post. But yeah, here we go, outer display selfie camera. All right, and we're switching to the inner display selfie camera, and just want to record a little bit. This one is also 1080p 30 fps and goes down to 720p 30 fps, just like the outer display selfie camera. And actually it's not bad. It is 1080p and it only goes up to 1080p, but this is not bad. I'm actually impressed. So yeah, and we're going to like a little slightly more shaded area, but the sun's still shining through the trees, so you still get some decent light. So not bad at all. Oh, and I just want to mention that I am talking just to record the inner mic, so you guys can hear how this sounds as well. And I'll try to make sure that the editing process doesn't touch the sound quality. I'll try as much as possible with that one. All right. Now here's something odd. What I found is that when you do the use the main camera but in selfie mode, it only records in 1080p 30 fps, which is weird, even though I'm using the main sensor, so that's odd. But if I were to close the phone and use the main sensor, then I could turn it up to 4K. I think it's 4K 60, but that'll be coming up next. I'll record some of that, and hopefully I'll be aiming it at myself correctly. But yeah, that's weird. Using the main sensor, but it only lets me go up to 1080p 30 fps. That's weird. I don't know. I wonder if that's a software I mean, there's definitely a software limitation, but that's weird. All right, here we are. And also the microphone. Yeah, just want to let you guys hear how that sounds. So yep.
Artlist.io.
J like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission the same. I made this black.
All right, so here we are on the main sensor. We're doing 4K 60, which is, I mean, decent. I would think that with such heavy hitting camera hardware, you would think that would go up to maybe 120. But 4K 60 is solid, so I won't complain too much. But as you can tell, the stabilization on the cameras is saving my life right now, because I'm a little bouncy just walking around here, and they have a little construction going on, so the pavement is not really even, but the stabilization is really good on here. And just talking a little bit just so you guys can hear the microphones once again, and I'll say that I am really impressed overall with the recording capabilities of this phone. I mean, especially since it's a foldable. It's just, I wish that they had done more with the inner cameras, the inner selfie and the outer selfie. That 1080p 30 fps, I mean, while it's not horrible, it's just odd to have that limitation on such an expensive device. Even with not import, well, I mean, even if you chose not to import the phone to the US, the regular price, I think it was around 1600, 1700, which is a lot for a phone. But the hardware itself is really good. I just don't know why they limited it to 1080p 30 fps. But anyway, that is the main camera recording, and I guess I could shake it a little bit. I don't want it to pop out of my selfie my tripod I'm holding in my hands, but just want to shake it a little bit, let you see. It really maintains its the quality as it's moving from side to side, so it's really good. Really impressed. All right, catch you guys back in the video.
Artlist.io.
J like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission the same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with Usain. I keep it coming like this is a buffet. And if I'm stumbling, I'm in the graves. Never gon' fumble it. I get the bag and I run with it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it. Murray with the legs, all about
Music licensing reimagined.
I don't need a rash coming in with last thing you see the flags. Elohim with the melody and they keep supply the breath. 70, keep it heavenly, everybody get the bread. I got the bread and I got the juice. I got some dogs and I let them loose. Bring in the storm and this ain't the Zeus. Walk in the skies but this ain't the loop. This ain't the cruise. We ain't the same, you ain't have a clue. I'm in the game and untouchable, cause I got the flame and this is the proof. Loading my toad, I still want all the smoke. We ain't talking about jokes, we just talking about more. I see all of my goals and it's looking like gold. I ain't asking for hope cause I know that it's show. Now you see me blue.
All right, and with the camera stuff out of the way, hopefully there was some good information in there for you guys. But what we're going to do now is move over to the software aspect of it. And the reason I mentioned up front that this was the global version was that the global version comes with FuntouchOS, not like the China version that comes with the local version that they use there. Let me look it up really quickly because I always forget. Origin OS. Okay. So Origin OS is the Chinese version that comes on the Chinese phone, and FunTouch comes on the global. So yes. With that being said, as far as FuntouchOS OS goes, they put out an advertisement recently, and I'll link that in the description. But they talked about features that was actually missing from this phone, and I have the latest version of the OS. I have FuntouchOS 15, and I compared the versions, and I was missing the feature that they advertised heavily in that advertisement that they put up. So anyway, but everything else was there. It's FuntouchOS, so it's not anything special because it's the global version. I think they're starting to pay attention to it a little bit more and show a little more love and care. But just want to make you guys aware that the global version comes with FuntouchOS, and it's not amazing. It does have some shortcomings. The main shortcoming being battery life. This thing is a battery hog. I run through battery. As a matter of fact, let me do this. I get so much spam. Oh my goodness. Actually, I'm gonna go to battery right now. I'm at 51%. And how much screen on time do I have? 3 hours and 11 minutes. So that means by the time I get to 0%, I would have had 6 hours of screen on time, maybe 6.5. And I've actually noticed that since I upgraded to FuntouchOS 15, battery life is actually worse now. So just wanted to mention that the global version of this, the OS that they put on their phones, battery hog. Let me see, what else did I want to touch on really quickly? I'll say this. This may not be something that I could actually show you guys in this review, but overall, FuntouchOS has a ton of features, but somehow they all seem unrefined. Like they're close to getting to that point where they're done, but they're just not quite there. And one thing being, it's simple, but it's not consistent. Where the widget for YouTube Music, you see how it's squared off when all of the other widgets are rounded. Such an odd thing, but that's the main one that I can actually show you guys. There are a number of other things with FuntouchOS. It seems like an inconsistent experience. And like I said, that's just the one that I can show you guys. So won't spend a lot of time on that. Just know that FuntouchOS is okay. It's not anything special by any means. Some of the choices that were made with the I would say the user friendliness of it or lack of just was odd to me. But another thing I kind of touched on in the previous review where they went with reverse colors on their icons. I don't know if there was a legal reason they had to do that just to keep from getting in trouble with the likes of Google or Samsung. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But I will say that they I wish the icons were dark on the outside. The main color was dark on the outside, and the icon itself was light. That way, I can keep my whole overall dark theme going, and I just can't do that because the icons are so bright. Just little things like that. Just little things. Nothing major. And what else was I going to touch on? I've touched on cameras already. Battery life. Missing features, inconsistent things. Actually, let me open up YouTube real quick. I'm always stalking my stats page. But let me click on a video. It's very loud. What I'll do is I'm going to go out of the app. I'm going to come back in. And see, oh, you know what? I think YouTube updated recently. I was going to show you something where YouTube had gone to this form factor where it would minimize the video automatically in the corner in like this little rounded square shape. But the video will be like halfway off the screen, like hanging off down the bottom, and you have to drag it up a little bit to get the X and the play to show up and stuff like that. But they've gone back to the bar at the bottom, so never mind. Never mind. But yeah, just a little inconsistency. I just wish they would show FuntouchOS 15 a little more love. And I've gotten a comment or two saying that FuntouchOS hasn't changed a lot significantly in since FuntouchOS 12 or something like that. So I can't speak to that because I haven't. I've only had this device for FuntouchOS 14 and 15, and I can say that while there were minor changes, like once again, nothing major there. So I can speak to that. But yeah, that's it for FuntouchOS 15. But overall, with this phone, while I am really impressed with the hardware itself and how well designed the phone is, at first look, I mean, no way you would think this thing is a phone, and it's not heavy. I actually held my friend's iPhone Pro, what was it, 15 Pro Max, whatever the name convention is right now. And that phone was actually considerably heavier than this phone. I felt it as soon as I picked it up. I was like, that is crazy. But at first glance, you would not notice that this phone is a foldable until you turn to the side and open the bad boy up, and then you see how thin that is. This phone is crazy thin and like really nice in the hand. Now I know there are lighter foldables out there. The Honor, the I think Xiaomi, what was it, Huawei? No, it's Xiaomi. Xiaomi has their that's thinner than this one. Um, they have some really thin foldables out there, but as far as this one goes, very thin foldable. I'll open it up, crazy large screen. Um, the phone itself, as far as software goes, very nice. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I'll say okay. Um, I will say that if I was rating this device on hardware alone, it would be a 10. But that's not how phones work. You have to interact with them. You have to use them. And when it comes to software, um, that's where it falls short a little bit. FuntouchOS, it's okay. It's not great by any means. It's not nearly as solid as Samsung's One UI or Google Pixels. Well, I guess it's what are the Pixel, the Android OS that they have on there. It's not nearly as smooth or refined as those. So as far as software goes, I would give FuntouchOS maybe a 5 or a 6 out of 10. But if I were to rate the device overall, FuntouchOS, if it was hardware alone, like I said in the beginning, it would be a 10. But FuntouchOS drags that score down a little bit to like maybe a 8, a 7.5 or a 8. If I had the regular Vivo Origin OS on it, maybe that score would go back up to a 9 or a 10. I don't know because I haven't interacted with Origin OS. But yeah, overall, I would recommend this phone easily. I would say to go with Origin OS because I feel like it has the more solid support from what I've read online. Once again, haven't interacted with Origin OS. Just wanted to say that. But as far as like overall presentation, the box, big, because you know there's something in here as opposed to other boxes that I've gotten recently. And then it comes with the charger, the cable, and a back plate. I mean, Vivo really did a great job with this device and the packaging and so on, and the delivery of the hardware. I mean, it's crazy. I just wish they would show. Well, honestly, I wish they would do away with FuntouchOS and just come out with Origin OS and just have that on their platform across the board. That way, you'll know you'll get consistent support across the board. And I really want them to spend some time and care with that. Hopefully, that'll come to fruition one day, and that'll be lovely. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to touch on this device after having it for 2 months. I genuinely love this device. It's my daily driver. Even with the drawbacks of FuntouchOS and just getting little weird quirks. Oh, yes, I'm glad I just thought about that. The phone on this device, the mics are good, and everything when they work. There are times when I answer the phone and I have it open and I answer the phone and I go to switch to speaker because I don't want to hold this big thing up to my ear and it won't switch to speaker. It won't switch to Bluetooth. It won't switch between devices. The icons will behave like you're switching, but the device itself still has it on the the earpiece on the device. So I have to put it up close to actually hear it, and that drives me insane. Um, but overall, I haven't had anybody complain about speaker quality when they're talking to me on this device. Um, yeah, but my main gripe is the inconsistency, and I know for a fact this. Well, I won't say for a fact. I truly believe that it is software related. I don't know if it's FunTouch. I don't know if it's something behind the scenes with the app itself. I don't know, but it will not switch between phone and speaker consistently. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. So keep that in mind. Overall, I would suggest this device. It is a great device. I love it. Um, Let me see. Oh, software again. I keep coming back to it. I want to. I keep trying to wrap this up, but I keep thinking of things. The always on display. While you have many cool options, you only have the option to display 4 notifications at a time. It does not display all notifications on your always on display. Another thing to keep in mind. Doesn't bother me because I'm not a super social guy by any means. So I don't have a bunch of apps where I'm getting a bunch of different apps where I'm getting notifications. I get text here and there. I get email. I may get a comment or two on one of my YouTube videos, but nothing crazy. So it doesn't bother me, but just something to be aware of. But once again, let's try to wrap this up. Overall, I would suggest it, recommend this device to people out there. If you're in the US, I would say if you're not an enthusiast, I wouldn't pursue this device because you got to import it. There are limitations to accessories that you get because the accessories themselves take just as long to get as the device it does, which is a week or two. So, and the warranty, when you import the device, it loses its warranty. So you have to go through a process of potentially getting it added to your, whoever you have your auto insurance through. I've seen that it worked online. I haven't pursued that avenue because I just don't care. If this device goes out, hopefully it doesn't because I actually love it. But if it goes out, fine. I'll go to another phone or I just move on. But yeah, but outside of the U.S., for the global device, and you don't lose your warranty when you get it, or even better, if you can get this device, not the non-global version with Origin OS on it, go that route. For now, I would avoid FuntouchOS. It's okay. It's average at best. So yeah, recommend it. If you're an enthusiast and you want to just you want something new and you want to explore other avenues outside of Google, Apple, Samsung in the US, hey, go for it. Slap it on your auto insurance and they'll cover it from what I've read online. But yeah, I continue to love this device and continue to daily drive it. And I plan to continue to daily drive it until the next new thing comes up and I've saved up enough money to explore the newest phone out there. So and something really grabs my attention. Hopefully, it does. But for now, this is where I'm at. Alright guys, and with that out of the way, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe to support the channel. And I'll see you in the next one, alright? Catch you guys later.
Artlist.io.
Look, back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed. I told them all I can let up.